Madagard and one corridor were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the gem and ninja's button. It was ripped off of the ninja costume and was found in the Madagard's hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife using the stabbing. Yeah, I don't know for sure about Chibi's personal preference. It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. It's a steak knife. And there's this button. That was found in the defendant's clothes. What? And this button also covered in blood? Yes. And we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir. What? All this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it? Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right? I'll find the hole in your arguments somehow. You can press as hard as you like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. Okay. I got back to work. But in terms of popularity, Mr. Guard won, did he not? Interesting, honey, man. Yeah, but you know what's ironic, Plow? Juan Cordo was always one step behind Mr. Guard in everything. This year it seemed like he'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. But Mr. Cordo lost the Grand Prix in the end. That's too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing. This way, that's more than enough in my book. Wait just 1 second here. Mr. Guard was beating Mr. Cordo in the popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but... Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. That's very true. Yes, I quite agree. Well, Detective, it's not, well... I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. I look forward to your pension negotiations. Oh, no! No! Now, Detective, let's continue with the testimony. No, not my poor pension, too. Funny nut. I wish I knew what those words meant. Soju and shonen. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed. Yes, sir. We could talk about my pension later, sir. What was I saying? Hello? Anyone? What is this? The gem and ninja's button. Okay, I ain't teaching you. Let me prove that the button belonged to the victim. Huh? What do you mean, pal? Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off the gem and ninja's costume. Huh? But can't you tell just by looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it. Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterward. Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir. Alright, I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in. A thread. Huh? The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And that thread snapped and the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match. Yeah, that's it. The perfect match, pal. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. Before he jumps again. I am paying attention to every word. When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found. We rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Corda. And then we did a search on the mall. That's when we found the button. That was almost immediately after the murder. The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? It's also over the knife. How are the fingerprints arranged on the knife? Huh? Well, what do you mean, pal? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand? Oh, is that what you meant? Well, Wouldn't actually think of that. I can't believe the bumbling of this department. Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony, right? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There's no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder. So the defendant the owner of this knife, then? There's no way this was premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife. Sorry, pal. This isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either. Well, this is not good. You can't prove it was premeditated murder. Phoenix? Yes? You're just about what the detective just said now. Think carefully before it's too late, yeah. If the judge were more rash, we would have already pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in a world of trouble. Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. Yeah, okay, so it's about the knife. That's not what I meant to do. I think I have to actually present the knife itself. Oh, the defendant bought the knife for the crime. He didn't, though. Yeah. I thought I said brought. Wait a second. Oh, what? So the basis of your argument is that this was a premeditated murder, is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand? That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Huh? Take a good look at the handle of this knife, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Huh? It has gateway seal set on the handle. Gatewater. Oh, Gatewater. I think I've heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel. Uh-oh. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated. Yes, that is very true. That's a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I hate you so fucking much! I hate you so fuck you, Keith! I hate you so goddamn much. So you're saying it's the difference between Bashir and Worf? I did it for you, Jesus Christ. I'm so fucking done. I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. And no one is currently on the police force that is dumb enough to realize this. There's no one currently on the police that is dumb enough not to realize this. But I didn't... oh. Worf is a little too tall, small for Cinder. Worf? You called him Worf? The question is, where did this knife come from? Why is that obvious? It came from the victim, Mr. Coroner's room. Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table. There's a knife and a fork on the table. And will not be spelling anything right. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt Engard. Especially what is on top of his table. There's something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife? We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt Edgar and God's knife was missing. Mr. God had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Want me to carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven that this was a premeditated murder. I have no idea, I've never played it. Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction. Seems like Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning. Must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it. A murder weapon with fingerprints, and a button from the victim's costume. There's quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright? Well, Phoenix, the judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, I gamble it will ring out the sound of our defeat. Yeah, Counselor Troy, the emotion therapist. Counselor Troy, yes. What? Your type is in woman type? Bayonetta. Actually, I do. Do I? I don't know, but we're gonna find out. There's one. One piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something this court has yet to see. Okay, maybe that, yeah, okay, you're Bayonetta, 100%, Mr. Wright. I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I'm giving you one chance and only one. Okay, I was right on both counts. What judge is saying, right? Just don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. I mess this up. It's curtains for all of us. You may now present one, and only one piece of evidence. Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show the court? Okay. Shit. Is it the wine glass? It's gotta be the wine glass, right? That doesn't count. Or the guitar case. I'm thinking it's the wine glass, okay? This is a wine glass, is it not? Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase is broken, his makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser. Well, yes, I see your point. However, the glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen all over along with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say? Well, yes, it is a little peculiar. Yes, isn't it? I thought it was. You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth? What is it, Your Honor? Your opinion? You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright. Miss Andrews really has set that glass down without thinking? There's no way. If I appear weak here, the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty. They might just fall for it, if you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We'd like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table. You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Miss Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim? There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it. What? I have no idea, Honey Nut. I'm not good at guessing people's types. You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? Then, of course, it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints. Fingerprints? But there were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass. Only one? Well, whose were they? They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they are one of Adrian Andrews. Or one Adrian. What? Okay, but this is gonna it's making sense. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? This is not family trick. You know what? I have other interests, you know. I'm big into Batman. I can't believe I fell into another trap. Your type is Catwoman. I don't know. Sure. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Corrida. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser. What you just said makes a lot of sense. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Now do you see, Wright? You can't change any part of my scenarios. It explains everything all too well. So I hate Catwoman. I don't even... I already guessed Kia's Bayonetta. That's her type. I know that for a fact. Honey Nut, you like the chubby boys, but I'm thinking you like more, I don't even know what sort of things you're into that well. I mean, the girls you draw are sweet and bubbly. I don't know, like, shit. Sweet, bubbly people. I don't know. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I've come to discover. Wait a second. Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution is yet another witness we'd like the court to hear from. Another witness? Close to the Batman villain, though. Poison Ivy. But I'm on their side. A witness? Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Oh, God. It's not Harley Quinn, is it? Oh, wow, I just passed judgment on Honey Nut. Oh, God. Let's move on before Honey Nut hates me. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Oh, no! G-O-T-C-H-A! Gotcha! Same shit. Even back in, like, when she was wearing the negligee, Harley Quinn never did it for me. I don't know. The crazy types do not do it for me at all. They do not. Don't put your dick in crazy. I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier. Oh, edgy boy. It's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me. I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet, it was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand. Kia! I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm going to tell you anything and everything. I'm just gonna ride crazy. I like the character. That's not my type at all. Any things that don't have to do with a terrible crime. Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all the court needs to know. Right. Oh, shush, I'm talking to my dear Edgy Reggie right now. Crazy singularity. Yeah, removed from Joker, it's much better. I absolutely hate the people like, oh, I wish I had their love, and they show Joker and Harley Quinn. It's the most toxic relationship I've ever seen. Her and Poison Ivy, I ship that to the day I die. 100%. Yeah, I'm so for that. I will say, like, the Harley Quinn show, the one where, Kaylee Kuko voiced her, hilarious. I fucking love that show. That show's really good. Being Poison Ivy sometimes. I ship them as well. So did you say... What? Sorry. Now it's canon. Yeah, exactly. Don't interrupt us, Gramps. Yes, madam. No, please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. Kia! It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, edgy. Nothing. What should I start with? The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Killing bad men. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag? It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle. You mean you were a fan of the victim? Look, everyone is crazy over that Engard saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. Without me, I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. Okay. What's my type? I'm only interested in real men. Juan Corrida. But those two are the same age. Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night. Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder. No, actually, no. Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was on guard, Matt on guard. He's trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. Yes. So Mr. Engard came out of the victim's room. See, it has to be him. He's the murderer. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Not Mercury. You're talking about Pegasus 5, right? Kia. What? You were asking me to call out yours? Yeah, just let's press. Yeah, Vera. Miss Oldbag, what was your post on that night? The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show. But I refused to help, I'll have you know. It was for that lead-headed samurai show. And that was honey? Here, I even took out a few of the nails. Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on. Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little. And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door. You just assumed it was okay. Something you were interested in? And just what was that? Is that some little thing I can just go around telling everyone you know? It's top secret between me and Juan. I'm Edgy Poo, of course. Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to our testimony later. So we shouldn't force it right now. I know the witness didn't stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out for the whole time. Oh, that would tell us the number of people. Then you would tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Corrida's room? I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am. Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. Who in the world was that? I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room, he was. Yes, he was. Ah, I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Francesca's whip right about now. Well, I guess I could tell you, since he was such a bad boy anyway. It was Engard, man Engard! You saw my client? Are you sure about that? Yesy. Really? Annoying brat! When I say I saw someone, I saw that person! Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. Ooh, face? I want to go with the clothes because he said he was wearing the costume. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail. What a troublesome man you are. Really, as if something like that matters. But it does. Now was it? Oh yes, it was that thing. What thing? That gaudy thing he's always wearing. That racing jacket. Oh, he's wearing that at the detention center too. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Man, what? So, ladies, is that what racing jackets are for? Are your pantaloons in danger? Right. So, Mr. Wright, was this the testimony just now important or relevant in any way? It was very important. Of course it was important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important? Don't you see it, Edgeworth? About your wife. Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright, witness, please. Ah well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must. Nice flashy racing jacket. Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket? What do you think? It's not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he's wearing it. She is so sure of herself that it's the point of self-absorption. She remember things that would be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying. That's bad for us, really bad. But that's how the human mind is. There's a tendency to jump off topic. She's strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time, too, hasn't she? But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right? That's because you're not the one who has to question her. Okay, How do I show that he was wearing the costume? How the hell do I show that he was wearing the actual costume? This? Oh, the button! Fuck. Because it was in his... Yeah, okay. Let me fucking sing this! Oh, damn it, I hit the button forward. That was at the start of it again. Right, the button. The fucking button. There we go. Miss Oldbag. What? Don't say my name for no reason. Do you know what this is? It's a button number 2 in the German ninja's costume. Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance. Give it here! Give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this! Wow, she really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood. You know what? I'm trying! This button was discovered on Mr. Unguard's body during a full body search. See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was that rascal Unguard. It was caught up in the pleats of his Nickel Samurai Hakama pants. See? See? And Unguard is the Nickel Samurai. Witness. Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say the defendant, Matt Unguard, was wearing his usual racing jacket? I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, then maybe you'd think it, but instead I had to put up with wearing this ridiculous outfit. You'd agree, this outfit is hideous, right? I've got a taper stuck on my chest, let me tell you. It's heavy! So heavy I wish we had just switched to CDs ages ago, but keep that. Dream alive for those kids out there. I regard smiling fit, so understand now, take a look in the mirror. Your clothes are about as interesting as a documentary on curling. You should take a tip for itch move. He's got style. Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Unguard, the man. But Mr. Guard, the Nickel Samurai?
When you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway.
Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about.
Poo, don't you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
Outright, if you insist.
I should be one sign, not you. Who I saw, oh god.
Unguard, yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right, it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would be convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show, right, after the crime, you know. So he must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan.
I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume.
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy, thinking such rude things.
But the possibility does exist.
Ah, you youngin' today. I told you, there's no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth.
At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. God damn. Oh, lady, that's refreshing. Would you please get on with your testimony?
What's your language, young man? What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything.
So you should forgive me for everything. My youthful isn't what it used to be either, so you all should forgive me for everything.
You don't bark at me like that. I'll start singing at the top of my lungs.
What?
A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's a Nickel Samurai.
She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears. Okay. Fuck you, Kia. Can you please do something about this racket? Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts.
Okay! You promise, right?
Right. I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. That's your bedtime person. That's your whole person bedtime. Fuck you. I might send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth. Old chum.
That's right, it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw.
Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not?
Not too long ago. Let me ask you this. When you were itty-bitty, what was your grand dream?
Huh?
What'd you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper?
I hate you so much right now, Kia. My dream, huh? Well, I, wanted to be Judge Wagner, the hero of the public's court. So what?
See? And look where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you?
Well,
I said earlier, who puts any weight into things like that? The now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past.
Since when did court become theatrics over testimonies?
All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Isn't that enough?
So during the mirror. Oh, we got the Judge Wagner achievement. I didn't realize that. What? And why would that be?
That way no one can see his face, of course.
But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more. Horrible defendant.
You're such an annoying child. You know that? You disagree with everything I say.
Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I got it. It's more trouble for him to change in and out of his costume.
Let me know. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
All the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing.
And that included the Jammin' Ninja?
Of course it included him. That's why when Ungard came out of Dear One's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyway.
Listen, the person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai.
I show he's a... Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw you in the towel yet? You think too hard on this one, huh? And it's sitting in plain sight. What is the contradiction? Wait. Oh, after the stage show. So what is the... Here? Push here? At the end? There, goddamn. So what am I looking for? I am reading it! Guitar case, wine, photo of the crime scene, suicide reports aren't gonna... Juan's autopsy report. Time of death, 8:15. Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. Or from the costume. I don't... What am I supposed to keep reading? I don't... God. But we already dealt with the knife. Wait. How are you gonna put... Well, no, the fingerprints would be on from when we ate the dinner. If this is it, I'm gonna be so upset. If this is it, I'm gonna be so upset. Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. You're trying to scare me with that. I'll have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all. She's a murder cork. She said he was wearing his costume. Okay. How's he gonna leave fingerprints if he was wearing a costume? But he could have had fingerprints before, right? From eating his dinner. Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at? That's exactly what I'm driving at. What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? If Mr. Ungar was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Yeah, see, that's not smart, though. His fingerprints could have been left on it at any time. Because it's a steak knife from his dinner. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. Okay, that makes more sense then. That's right, the Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. Shut up! Why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? I don't know if fingerprints work like that, but thank you, Nick. I don't think they do. I don't think I don't think if it was covered in fingerprints, I don't think that the gloves would have wiped them all off completely. There's no way he would do something like that. Like if you hold it, you're not wiping it though. I'm overthinking this. That's my problem with these games. I overthink everything. However, there's one possibility. Let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in the costume as the Nickel Samurai. Yeah. You're not moving your hand when you're stabbing, though. It's not like that, you know? You're holding single. Boom. Boom. And it's one stab, which I think wasn't even really a stab. I think it was to cut off the button as, evidence. It's a plant. and they accidentally stabbed him as they were trying to get the button off. No attempt of murder. He's probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. That's why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Yes. I've heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory? So we get this straight. You wound me, Kia. You wound me. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? There's a contradiction. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Ungard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's possible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. The fucking knife again. This knife. This is used by Mr. Ungard at dinner. Yes, we did establish that. Which means that if my client was, in fact, the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Corrida. Hey, Boo Boo, how you doing? Well, they established that the knife was not the murder weapon. Google, no. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. She's got the gun and everything. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. The knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. Order! Order, I say! Order in the court! Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? To frame Matt Ungard. It's to frame my client, Mr. Ungard, of course. To frame... Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? But we just established that the witness saw the nickel samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Witness! Looks like I made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy Poo? Witness, did you or did you not really see the nickel samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Ungard with the nickel samurai, his character on TV? I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of that door because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the nickel samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the nickel samurai. Alright, then who were you waiting around for then? That's top secret to anyone outside of security. I feel like you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corrida. Am I correct, witness? The way you think, you are a sad amateur with terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What I'm an amateur of? So Oldbag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corrida. Maybe. Phoenix, maybe the Oldbag was waiting around for that person. So I think it is Mia's hinting at. It's certainly possible. Miss Oldbag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? It has to be Lotta Hart. It has to be. Fuck! That's never what happened. Ouch. Busty, guess there's no fooling her. You two, what do you think you're doing flirting in my courtroom? we weren't doing anything like that, honest. After the drug work, I was waiting around in front of the victim's room. Who is this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Ungard's manager. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. This is... Oh, this is... Well, this is... Ha, I see. The judge seems to be really into the article, if that could be called such a thing. This manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's Adrian Andrews? Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then. Witness? What in the world are you?
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling.
I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. That's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course.
But what for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide.
I see.
Very well then. Witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready! This is gonna take the wind out of you youngins.
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. Secret information.
That Enguarde is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager getting close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
What is... the defendant sent his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying? The truth is never pleasant.
Never heard that one before. What about this Adrian Andrews person? We've looked into this matter and found that the truth of the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip. Which this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim. This means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Careful, the Oldbag seems rather excited right now.
That's right, Enguarde is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, you gotta burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone.
No! Yes!
Woo! You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander.
But it's true. That woman is getting intimate with poor Juan. Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Mrs. A.A.
But the name of the magazine this came from is Gossipland.
What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies? What do you know? I suppose that's you swear to me that the news is 100% truth. Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip.
Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright.
Oh god, discriminate? When did I do anything like that? Anyway, Enguarde would never get me to say touché.
Oh, touché. Causing a huge scandal. A scandal? What do you mean by that?
You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days?
No, I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much.
Well, that Enguarde thought he could own a monopoly on popularity.
You don't have any proof that Mr. Enguarde did any such thing.
You must be suffering from shock. The shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're so much shocked, you can't do anything right now.
My back is itchy. You're right. I can't do anything. Boy, do I wish I could do something about you.
Alright then, Sonny. Show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that Enguarde didn't bear any ill will towards Juan?
Do I have evidence of that? I don't think I do. That Enguarde didn't bear any ill will towards Juan. I don't think I do. I don't think I do at all. Yeah, I don't. I don't have anything to offer.
See? Just as I thought.
That was, shit. Lotta's camera that was stolen. See,
always have proof. You just give me a free pass to say whatever I want, whenever I want, silly boy.
Me and my big mouth.
That's the way the cookie crumbles, for you anyway.
So, what do you mean by I took action?
Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson. Something you youngins need.
You were going to teach her a good lesson?
I was gonna make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. Like this!
No, stop!
Oh, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night.
Wait.
What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this secret information?
Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drill a hole into my brain, you'll never find out.
Okay, here we go. What if do we press further or present it's the camera. She got the camera. I think we need to press further. If you don't be a good girl and tell me where you got the secret information, you won't get to go home today.
Edgy Poo, what are you doing? Help me!
What do I have to do with this?
Just do this for me. You'll get your reward.
I don't want a reward, but you don't leave me much of a choice. The witness could have gotten their information from anywhere. It's even possible that it was spontaneously made up inside the witness's head. And he lectures me on reckless blabbering? You know where the information came from. It's quite a waste of time to focus on the line of questioning. Okay, so... think I've heard anything out of the ordinary? Yeah, I know. Just the heck out of it? Yeah, okay, we already know. Okay. Secret. Present evidence. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Oldbag?
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that!
Witness?
I hate to say it.
But this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it? The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart. Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself. She reported such a thing? On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrageous impressions about the relationship between the victim and Ms. Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
No, I said impressions.
Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless?
Ah, that's it. That's the note.
No, you see, this is something completely different. It's my top secret list of groceries to buy!
Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note?
I'm a huge fan of Juan's, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil Unguard. She said so herself. Unguard, I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written.
As the music goes away.
Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you? It's back.
I missed the other music, though. I missed the music from the first game so bad. I don't like the song.
I was like trying to help out, like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
This is X music. You really should come with a supply of cheese about your vintage wine. It was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just once. She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? No! No, absolutely not. If I let up on her now, she would get it away. I have to find somebody to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. They were... Witness. You said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct?
This is stolen? Why do you do this more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible, lonely trash can, that's all.
You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it.
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Miss Oldbag. I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night. The fucking camera. Was it the guitar? No, it couldn't have been the guitar. It couldn't have been the guitar because they found it at the studio. So it's the camera again. Oh. Miss Oldbag, that note was with the camera inside its case, wasn't it? A camera? Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, "My sweetie, $1,600 camera disappeared on me." Why, witness.
What is it, Gramps?
If you have the note, then it is only logical that you have the camera too.
Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for?
That's...
What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Slimebag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. But when I saw that, I didn't know what sort of picture she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
God damn. Bailiff?
Check this camera's photos. Hurry. Let's examine them at once.
Alright, here we go.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have?
There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case.
Please present it to the court. This is the Nickel Samurai.
Okay, what are we looking at? Okay, all that stuff.
See, I told you. That's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter.
What does this all mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However,
In his own confession, Mr. Ungard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that's the case, then this Nickel Samurai is
the defendant.
How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We've examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree with this photo as it cites evidence against your client?
Saving my game, because we're gonna save some spoon, because I'm probably gonna screw this up.
This one really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, I'm gonna put Maya's life in jeopardy.
I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took. There's something strange with it. There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right?
Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we can all agree there's something strange with this photo. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster.
Debunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright?
Anyway, please look at the photo one more time.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct?
Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts?
Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange?
It's too short. I'd like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
What are you pointing to? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't.
And what does that mean?
The costume person in this photo could not have been Mr. Ungard.
What's the meaning of this?
I did that with no help. Haha! How about if you would care to elaborate? With actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. See his motherfucking feet and ankles.
With my friendship.
Thank you, Mastery. Appreciate the follow. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama.
His socks. You can see his socks.
Exactly. However, in this photo, The Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his Hakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is it? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all? Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not mad on guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I figured it would come to this. What? Right. I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt on guard. In that case, who is this a photo of? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah. Why is he so calm? That's right. Let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph? It's Pearls! No. I mean, the only other person it could be is Adrian Andrews. Yeah, it's obvious. I'll go for it. Oh god, it's 4 health. Adrian Andrews? If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points to her? For starters, she's short. And she can freely move in and out of Mr. Ungar's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Ungar that night. And how does that all add up? It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Ungar's fingerprints all over it. The knife that was used as the murder weapon. Why don't you just say what it is you want, right? But how did the wine glass get in there? The untouched wine glass. I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corrida. It's Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. Order! 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 It looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony. Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day? Ah! If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya... Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow. What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn court! Or is it objection? Now then. Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. We must pass a verdict today. I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony. She's not... I abhor wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development. Tisk, tisk. Unexpected development? I think you underestimated me, Your Honor. What do you mean by that? That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan. Even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What? What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man? Somehow, I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly. Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess.